Morning, everybody. Grab a cup of coffee and a donut or three, and let's do some switching. Happy Saturday, everybody. Let's do some switching. This is take 2 of my narrating because I made so much noise the first time I did it. When I replayed it, it was really distracting. I was picking up debris from the Garden Railroad. So we got a long train. So a lot of it's still back in the staging yard. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up 2 cars from Wearever, and then we're going to deliver 3 cars to Wearever. We're sort of in a mini drought right now. Supposed to get some rain Friday and Saturday, but the last 2 times we've had rain predicted, it's missed us. It hasn't given us any help at all. So I have not mowed the grass. Gosh, I don't know, 10, 11 days now, something like that. It's starting to turn brown. Out in the Garden Railroad, but not a lot of bird activity tonight for some reason. Last week at this time, the county fairgrounds, which are, I don't know, probably a good mile as the crow flies, they were having their truck and tractor pull, so you could have listened to that in the background. So unfortunately, the covered hopper was underneath the overpass. So I had to pull up to where I could uncouple it. Something that the rail railroad doesn't have a problem with. We have a covered hopper full of plastic pellets they use to make the handles for the cookware. And we've got another boxcar full of raw materials to go to spot 2, and then the boxcar in spot 1 is empty. That'll be finished products shipped out. Of course, a lot of stuff goes out by truck at this point. The loading docks for the trucks are on the other end of the building. So we have a gondola full of steel rods to deliver to Union Spring. So let's go pick that up. So running through the crossover. Start moving the camera around here in a minute, give you some different angles. We've coupled onto the empty. Now we're going to pull it out and spot it back on the number 2 track. Or the Sherman track, as it is called west of the diamond, but I'm not sure what it was called east of the diamond. And it was called the Sherman Track because during World War I, Chillicothe's population swelled to about 60,000 because they built a huge training camp. Just, I guess you'd say it's north of town. And of course, after the war ended, it was all torn down, and there's no buildings left. They did build a federal prison there, and actually there's 2 or 3 prisons on that site now, along with a national, I don't know if it's a national park, national historical site of some Indian mounds. So the gondola I'm pushing in is an old, I think it's model die casting roundhouse gondola that I lowered. I think it looks a lot better than the other gondola sitting there. I don't know who makes that one, but to me it just sits too high. I may work on that a little bit, try to lower it. You'll see some older gondolas set up that high, but I think the modern ones sit a lot lower. You see the steel rods they're way too big. They're styrene rods. I've figured out a way. I think I can make that better. Another little side project. Okay, so we've we spotted the load. Now we're going to go back and grab the empty. So from here, the crew pulled up across Douglas Avenue. Couldn't figure out what they were doing. They stopped and backed up. I guess they decided to go ahead and take a break. So they backed the cars across Douglas Avenue, then they uncoupled the engine and pulled forward and parked and got down and went in the yard office to take their break. Now, it'll be a pretty regimented break here in Chillicothe. There's a lot more eyes watching them than there are in Oak Hill. So they can, sort of take longer breaks in Oak Hill, let's say, and talk about fishing and things like that, but not in Chillicothe. So I'm going to try to run to Dairy Queen, get a chili dog and a milkshake, and catch them on the way back in part 2. So everybody stay safe.